We have 6 different projects. We try to understand how people move from one part of the city to another, what are their behavior, and how the public transport system can be improved using data to increase the level of security in the city using specific face recognition systems to provide solutions where trees should be planted in order to make city greener. Globally, we have our partners in the United States, we have partners in Europe, also we have partners in South Korea and Japan. It's very important to try to decrease this kind of gap between science and between industry in order to implement what our researchers do in a real sector. If I can do at least something in order to make citizens' lives better, I will be more than happy.
What is the ideal city like for each of us? It's a place where people feel completely safe, with surveillance systems that allow quick responses to threats and prevent incidents. The air is clean and the streets are lined with trees and flowers that delight the eye and purify the environment. In the ideal city, the internet is fast and accessible everywhere. The transportation system runs without delays or traffic, allowing easy and quick travel. Schools, clinics and stores are all within walking distance. Living in such a city is both pleasant and comfortable. To design the perfect city, a thorough analysis is essential to understand how to improve the lives of every citizen. Data analysis lies at the core of the research conducted by Kazakh scientist Didar Yedilkhan. His project focuses on studying and processing information about the urban environment, including data on traffic flow, air pollution levels, population density, and other key indicators. This data is collected and analyzed using mobile sensor systems, identifying problem areas and then proposing potential solutions to city authorities.
We have 6 different projects. The first one is about to analyze data in transportation system. We got connected with a company who have all data regarding public services, public bus services in Astana. So they provide us with data, and then we try to understand how people kind of move from one part of the city to another part of the city, what are their behavior, and again, like how this kind of public transport system can be improved using data. The second part of the project is to increase the level of security in the city using specific face recognition systems based on machine learning and deep learning algorithms.
Implementing advanced technologies in an urban environment requires phased testing. The first step was conducting experiments in the dormitories of the university where the scientist works. The team is evaluating how facial recognition systems and machine learning algorithms can function effectively in a confined space. This experience will help refine the technology, allowing for its future application in shopping malls and other public spaces, enhancing the safety of city residents.
The third one is about how agro and agrotech can be implemented in the cities. So how this concept of vertical farming, when we expect that cities will be growing like very fast, and how cities can be green. So we try to understand is Astana green enough, and then what is the specific areas of the city that need tree planting. So we use photos from the space, and then we analyze them using some specific algorithms, and then we try to count the number of trees, and then we try to provide solutions where, in which location trees should be planted in order to make city greener.
To make a city safe, including from cyber threats, it's important to consider that each year will bring more devices connected to the internet. These include surveillance cameras, sensors, and smart household appliances. While all of these technologies improve the quality of life for residents, they can also be vulnerable to hackers. If someone breaches these systems, personal data could be at risk. That's why one of Didar Yedilkhan's 6 projects is focused on protecting these systems from cyber threats.
One more project is about 5G. So the team where we closely work with our international partners, with this, Birmingham City University and with Istanbul University, we try to understand what are the handover problems in the city in 5G and 6G. So they try to use different simulation approaches, and then they try to use data from mobile network operators in order to understand like what are the problems and how this can be solved. And the last one is try to build a whole platform for smart city, where we connect all the data together and then try to visualize them, try to provide some monitoring solutions, try to provide some platform where data can be collected, where data can be stored and then can be analyzed. And the last step is how this data can be used in order to make some decisions on a higher level.
The digital platform for the smart city will gather data and display it on a map. A large amount of information has already been collected about Kazakhstan's capital and other regions, and the scientists' goal is to visualize and analyze this data. The platform will help government agencies better understand urban issues and find effective solutions. Additionally, some of the data will be made available to researchers for their studies.
Right now in Kazakhstan we have the issues that there is no unified platform of the maps. There is all city authorities tries to make their own based on the open source platforms. Also we have ready solutions from the other countries such as Google Maps, Yandex Map, Turkish Maps. In the real life, in the IT center, we understood that for the Kazakhstan we need to create our own map which could show us what kind of troubles in the whole Kazakhstan area we have, for example, with the water, with the air, maybe with the farming. In our direction, first of all, it is fully Kazakhstan citizens' work. Right now we're trying to make combination of the students of the bachelor degree, master degree, PhD students, and also the university staff and city authorities, and we try to communicate with them and make platform which fully will be a Kazakhstan product.
It is trying to compile and adapt also things that are already existing, best practices from the world, but you cannot just copy things from one place to another place. You need to develop the unique needs that are here in Kazakhstan for the cities in Kazakhstan and combine it with the best practices, with the scientific knowledge that is worldwide in this field of smart cities. And he, with his international connections, he can combine this. Yeah, he can bring this together. He has the local view, he has the knowledge about what's state of the art worldwide, and he can bring it together and generate new concept out of this. And I think this is unique. Yeah? It is that it is an international focus, that it is a high-tech focus, and it is a Kazakh focus at the same time.
All 6 areas share a common goal to explore how to make the city more comfortable for its residents. Around 80 specialists are working on these projects under the leadership of scientist Didar Yedilkhan. The team is based at the research center at a university in Astana.
Right now we've divided for the 6 groups, and all those groups will do their work, such as collecting data, video analyzing, collecting data from the sensors, the GPS trackers, and the last one, right now we are trying to make architecture, and after that for the next year we will try to implement our program, the platform. We already analyzed several ready open source maps, and we'll try to connect them to our unified platform.
We established Research and Innovation Center, and Professor Didar became head of this research center. Last 3 years we have good successful proposals for research grants, and he now principal investigator of lot of research projects, and as well as he supervisor of international project. And we had experience in traveling to Japan International Forum. It was grant from Japanese government. Also, we won an additional grant from UK, Royal Academy of Engineering.
Last year we had two projects together with Great Britain. So one is from Royal Academy of Engineering, and the basic idea was to build networking in the field of smart city. We found this proposal, research call, in the internet and also using our networking. So we have a lot of our partners in the United Kingdom, and then when they have some specific calls, they call to us, and then we try to build together our application and get the funding. We won one funding from the British Council, and the idea was to build transnational education strategy design. So the idea is again to build relationship between universities in Kazakhstan and in the United Kingdom, and then work together in research and education. Our partner in the United Kingdom was Birmingham City University, which is actually really good in terms of both research and education. We built our first foundation, and now we are applying for bigger projects to get more funding and then do better projects in terms of quality and results. Globally, we have our partners in the United States, we have partners in Europe, also we have partners in South Korea, in Japan. So what we do is we look for different funding resources, and then we try to apply and get this funding, and then based on this funding we build a team, and then we start the project. In terms of local entities, for sure the main one is the Ministry of Science and Higher Education. They have different funding sources, such as targeted funding, or it can be grant funding. They also have a lot of support for young scientists.
As a child, Didar dreamed of a career in banking and even worked in the field for a while. However, after a few years, he realized that the financial world is constrained by bureaucracy and any innovation faces numerous obstacles. Science is different, says the scientist. Here, there's freedom for experimentation, and you can see the results much faster.
So since I'm from family where my both parents are from science and education, so they kind of motivated me to start being involved in research projects. My father is famous also scientist doing different projects in IT, in optimization, in computer modeling. My mother is also from the science and education field, so she's working with different financial models, with economic models, again involving mathematics as a main part. I started being interested in science when I was doing my bachelor study. In the last year I was involved in one project led by famous super scientists. So my role was simple. I was developing mathematical and computer models in order to understand the economy of Kazakhstan. And then when I finished my bachelor study at the master's level, when you had to publish a paper in order to finish your master's study, I was involved also in another project. So during my both bachelor and master study, I believe I started being interested in science.
Today, Professor Yedilkhan inspires young people to pursue science and is dedicated to developing future talent. He identifies promising high school and university students, believing they might one day contribute to building the perfect city. In this smart city competition he organizes, high school students from all over Kazakhstan present innovative ideas. University professors evaluate their solutions, and the best teams move forward to continue working on their projects.
Порядка 50 команд уже приглашаются в университет на второй тур.
Around 50 teams are invited to the university for the second round, where a winner is selected. The winning teams are awarded university rectors grants, which guarantee them a place to study at the university free of charge. This not only attracts young people to the IT field, but also sparks their interest in smart cities and innovation.
Инновациями. Профессор Дидар Yedilkhan, он также у нас проводит подготовку педагогических кадров, то есть через разные конкурсы, которые проводятся.
Professor Didar Yedilkhan also helps grow future professionals through various competitions organized in partnership with IT companies, which provide real-world challenges. Over the course of a week or a month, around 100 teams, each made up of 2 to 3 participants, work on solving these tasks. He serves as both moderator and organizer of these competitions. It's the first opportunity for students to apply their project knowledge and see how well they can put the theory learned at the university into practice. They begin participating in these competitions from their first year and continue through the second and third years.
Принимать участие с первого, потом второй курс, третий курс, все активно принимают участие.
In this way, companies find their future employees among the students. Participants who offer the most successful solutions are invited for internships or even hired while they're still studying. Professor Yedilkhan oversees the entire competition and coordinates collaboration with the companies. This is one of the steps toward his larger goal.
It's very important to try to implement science in different levels of economy in Kazakhstan. So at the moment we all know that in order to be like number one, you have to do something new, you have to do something new like compared with your competitors. So we have different fields in Kazakhstan. So for example, oil and gas, or maybe like something related to mining or something related to finance or something like that. So if we will try to implement this kind of research-oriented strategy in different fields of economy, I believe this can help Kazakhstan to be better in nearby future. It's very important to try to decrease this kind of gap between science and between industry in order to implement what our researchers do in a real sector. We all know the level of science in Europe, for example, in the US or maybe in the United Kingdom. But what I noticed that mostly they surprise how government supports science in Kazakhstan. So we all know that in Kazakhstan maybe it's much easier or it's less competitive in order to get funding for your research. So they're quite surprised with this support from the government in order to grow the science in Kazakhstan.
The topic of smart cities is becoming more relevant worldwide. Professor Didar Yedilkhan is working to expand his lab by bringing together experts from different fields, ranging from technology to social sciences. According to him, the concept of a smart city is much more than just introducing new technologies. It also involves understanding how people behave in urban spaces and finding ways to measure these patterns. His goal in the near future is to involve not only engineers but also psychologists and specialists from other areas to develop well-rounded solutions.
At the moment I cannot say that I have something great as a scientist, but I believe that maybe in next 10 years I will be like doing the same. I will be doing research in the field, and then I hope that I can apply my research in specific fields. And then, for example, in my case, since I work in the smart city domain, I hope to apply my research in the field of in Astana, for example, the capital of Kazakhstan. In case if I can do at least something in order to make citizens' lives better, I will be more than happy.
For Didar Yedilkhan, Astana is not just a city where he lives. It is a platform for implementing ideas that have the potential to transform not only the local environment, but also serve as a model for other cities across Kazakhstan and beyond. Didar Yedilkhan is a face of Kazakhstani science. His projects aim to make cities safer, more convenient and smarter, improving the quality of life for millions of people.